Y'all, Hollywood's golden couple might have just cracked. Out of nowhere, country singer Maggie Baugh dropped a bombshell, claiming she had a past relationship with Keith Urban, and get this, she says she's got proof. Within hours, the internet exploded like a Friday night scandal thread. Nicole Kidman? She went full silent treatment until she unfollowed Keith on Instagram and posted that icy quote, "Loyalty is more than a word." Meanwhile, Keith brushed it off saying, "People do anything for attention," but never denied it. Then Maggie dropped screenshots, deleted everything, and whispered, "The truth always comes out." Now, after all that chaos, Nicole and Keith post a cozy couple photo like nothing happened? Something's off, and Hollywood wants answers. Let's rewind the chaos, because this story didn't just start with a rumor. It started with a ripple that turned into a Hollywood earthquake. For years, Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman have been the poster couple of red carpet perfection, smiling under flashbulbs, finishing each other's sentences in interviews, pretending life was a fairy tale written by Vogue magazine. But behind that camera-ready romance, insiders say cracks have been forming for months. The tension, the distance, the sudden solo red carpet appearances, and then, out of nowhere, Maggie Baugh entered the chat. Maggie, a rising country artist known for her bold lyrics and fearless personality, didn't just drop a cryptic tweet. No, she launched what people on social media are calling the quiet storm, one Instagram story. Just 6 words long. Some scars don't fade, even with fame, no tags, no faces. But it was enough for the internet detectives to go full FBI mode. And when fans noticed she liked an old post of Keith's from 2018, the one where he thanked his special friend for inspiring his album, the internet didn't rest within hours. Comment sections were ablaze. "Is she talking about Keith?" One user asked. "Nicole better log off for her own piece," another joked. But this wasn't just gossip anymore. Because not long after, Maggie posted a now-deleted message saying, "Sometimes the truth gets buried under Hollywood glitter, but I've got the receipts," and that's when everything started unraveling. Insiders, those anonymous close sources who always appear right on time, claimed Maggie and Keith had crossed paths during a charity event years ago. Supposedly, he mentored her music career, but people now say that mentorship may have gone far beyond studio sessions. One source claimed Maggie was young, ambitious, and Keith saw a reflection of his old self in her. They clicked instantly. Meanwhile, Nicole was spotted solo at a wellness retreat in Australia, fueling more suspicion. Paparazzi photos showed her walking alone, wearing sunglasses, holding a journal. Of course, tabloids captioned it, "Nicole in reflection mode." Some fans tried to defend the couple, insisting it was all nonsense. But when Nicole suddenly unfollowed Keith on Instagram, a move so subtle yet so explosive, the narrative shifted overnight. That unfollow button became a declaration, a digital divorce, as Twitter called it. Fans began comparing screenshots, analyzing her latest cryptic caption that read, "When silence speaks, truth listens." Theories ran wild. Was it heartbreak? Betrayal? A PR stunt? And Keith's reaction didn't help. When TMZ cornered him outside a recording studio, his only comment was, "People do anything for attention." Simple, dismissive, but notably, not a denial. And in Hollywood, silence is often louder than any confession. Then came the twist that set social media on fire. Maggie dropped screenshots, grainy, half-cropped, but just enough to make people gasp. Texts allegedly from Keith reading, "Wish you were here tonight," and another saying, "You make music feel real again." They could have been fake, sure. But timing is everything, and the internet loves a scandal that feels too real to be fake. Hashtags started trending. Hashtag Keith exposed. Hashtag Nicole deserves spurt. And of course, hashtag Maggie Baugh receipts. TikTokers made entire theories, decoding every word in those screenshots, matching fonts, analyzing timestamps like they were studying the Zapruder film. One viral clip even claimed Maggie's photo background matched Keith's studio decor from an old interview. Nicole, meanwhile, stayed quiet until she didn't. One night, she posted a black and white selfie with the caption, I've learned that silence can be misinterpreted. The internet went wild. That wasn't just a caption. That was a shot fired behind the scenes. Sources whispered that Nicole had packed up for a few days, moving into a separate villa near Sydney. Her team refused to comment, which only made fans hungrier for the truth. Every photo, every subtle gesture, every public appearance became a clue in what tabloids were now calling the urban unraveling. By now, Keith's PR team was in full damage control. Insiders say publicists were scrambling to draft a joint statement, while Nicole's camp wanted distance and space, but the damage was already done. Once screenshots hit the internet, there's no going back. The narrative had escaped their hands, and then, just when people thought the drama had peaked, Maggie deleted everything. Every post, every hint, every piece of evidence, gone. She wiped her feed clean and posted one final message on her story. The truth always comes out. Timing is everything. It vanished in 24 hours. But screenshots live forever. Fans started speculating. Did Keith threaten legal action? Did Nicole's team silence her? Or was this all orchestrated from the start? A PR set up to promote Maggie's upcoming single? Because conveniently, a few days later, her new song titled Fame and Fire dropped on streaming platforms. The lyrics? He said I was his melody, but I was just another verse he'd forget. Coincidence? Maybe, but Hollywood doesn't believe in coincidences, especially not when fame and heartbreak collide. And that's where everything paused, at least for the public. But behind the curtains, whispers say Nicole wasn't done yet. Because if you think this story ended with one unfollow and a deleted post, you haven't seen what happens when a Hollywood queen feels betrayed. The calm before the storm was just beginning, and the next wave would make sure everyone paid attention. The calm didn't last long because by the next morning, Hollywood woke up to chaos that even the best PR firm couldn't bury. What started as whispers had become an industry-level scandal. Entertainment blogs, celebrity podcasts, and gossip channels went into overdrive. Did Maggie Baugh just blow up Keith Urban's marriage? Screamed one headline. Another read, Nicole Kidman's worst fears confirmed? Suddenly, everyone had an opinion, from morning talk shows to Twitter threads written like FBI reports. And while Keith tried to keep things professional, pretending nothing happened, his fans noticed the cracks. He looked tired on stage, missing a few notes during a live performance in Nashville. A fan captured the moment on video, and the comment section turned into a battlefield. That's guilt singing, one wrote. Another replied, he's human. Y'all need to chill, but the damage was done. The clip went viral under the hashtag Broken Urban. Meanwhile, anonymous insiders started leaking even more details. One alleged source, who claimed to have worked on a past tour with Keith, told an entertainment outlet everyone knew they were close. Maggie would visit rehearsals, always sitting in the back, always smiling when Keith played certain songs. It wasn't professional energy, it was personal. Then came the biggest leak of all, an alleged email exchange between Maggie and a confidant discussing a past connection with a married man. The email, which mysteriously found its way onto Reddit, never mentioned Keith by name, but the timing and references were unmistakable. Within hours, the thread gained over 50,000 upvotes, and users began analyzing metadata and timestamps like digital detectives. Nicole, on the other hand, was maintaining her trademark grace, but even she couldn't dodge the storm forever. She appeared at a charity gala in Los Angeles, smiling for cameras, but fans couldn't help noticing her hand. The wedding ring was missing. That single detail broke the internet more than any rumor could. Paparazzi footage surfaced of Nicole walking briskly to her car, ignoring questions from reporters shouting, "Nicole, is it true about Maggie? And are you and Keith separating?" Her silence only fueled the fire. And then, as if she was done playing the quiet victim, Nicole posted something that felt like a declaration of war, a simple photo of her shadow on the floor, captioned, "Every light reveals what darkness hides." Within 10 minutes, over 200,000 likes and thousands of comments poured in. "We see you, Queen," one fan wrote. Another said, "Expose him already." Meanwhile, Keith's camp tried desperately to regain control. His publicist released a vague statement to People magazine. Mr. Urban values his marriage and will not be engaging with baseless online rumors, but that backfired instantly. Baseless? Fans mocked on Twitter. Then why did Maggie delete everything? Why did Nicole unfollow him? The word baseless became the punchline of memes and TikTok skits. And speaking of Maggie, she wasn't done stirring the pot either. Late one night, she went live on TikTok for exactly 4 minutes. She didn't name names, but her tone said it all. Sometimes, when you love someone in silence, their silence breaks you louder, she said tearfully before abruptly ending the stream. Fans flooded her comments demanding answers. Others accused her of clout chasing. One viewer screen recorded the live, and it spread like wildfire. Soon, the Keith Urban scandal had morphed from a celebrity rumor into a cultural moment. Major outlets started debating the ethics of exposing relationships online. Pop culture analysts called it a perfect storm of fame, secrecy, and social media revenge. It wasn't just gossip anymore. It was content. Even other celebrities began weighing in. A-listers who'd worked with Nicole quietly unfollowed Keith. Some country artists posted cryptic messages about men losing good women. Every move became evidence in a public trial where no one really knew the truth. But everyone had already chosen a side. Then, out of nowhere, a new photo surfaced, allegedly taken at a private event 2 years ago. It showed Keith and Maggie standing close, smiling, his hand lightly on her back. The lighting was dim, the setting unclear, but that didn't matter. The photo looked intimate enough to ignite another round of chaos. Gossip sites labeled it the smoking gun. Fans flooded Keith's recent posts with comments like, "So this is your Mendy?" Maggie stayed quiet this time, refusing to clarify. Her team issued a single response: Maggie will not be addressing false narratives or engaging with internet speculation. That statement only made people more suspicious if it was false. Why not deny it directly by this point? Keith and Nicole's marriage had turned into a public guessing game. Some tabloids claimed they were in private counseling. Others reported that Nicole was consulting her lawyers for personal and professional protection. One alleged friend of the couple told Page 6, "Nicole's not naive. She's been through Hollywood heartbreak before, but she won't tolerate disrespect." And then, just when everyone thought the story couldn't get any more tangled, an anonymous account popped up on Twitter, posting alleged voice notes of Keith talking to someone about wanting to start over. The voice was never confirmed, but fans insisted it sounded like him. Within minutes, the account disappeared, suspended, but not before the clips were downloaded and reposted across social media. This was no longer just a rumor. It was a wildfire that couldn't be contained. Nicole's fans demanded she leave him. Keith's defenders claimed it was a coordinated smear campaign. Maggie's name trended for 3 straight days. And through it all, not one of the 3 issued a clear explanation. It became the perfect example of what social media loves most: mystery, heartbreak, and a touch of chaos. But little did anyone know, the biggest shock was still waiting, because soon after, something unexpected happened. Something that made everyone question whether the entire scandal was real or carefully orchestrated from the start. Then came the plot twist no one saw coming. The kind of Hollywood reversal that makes you question whether the whole thing was a scandal or a PR masterpiece. After weeks of silent tension, mysterious posts, and emotional chaos, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban did something that sent shockwaves through the internet. They reappeared together. It started with a single photo on Keith's Instagram. Just a simple image, the two of them, standing on a balcony somewhere in Sydney, smiling. The caption reading, "Some storms pass. Some teach you how to dance in the rain." Within 10 minutes, over 1 million likes. Fans were stunned. Wait, are they back together? One comment asked. Another wrote, "So this was all fake." Others accused them of playing the public for sympathy. The post looked carefully staged, the lighting perfect, Nicole's hand subtly placed over Keith's, her ring magically back on her finger. Entertainment insiders immediately called foul. One source told E! News that photo wasn't random. It was calculated damage control. Both teams agreed it was time to cool things down before it hit career territory, because at this point, the scandal wasn't just about personal heartbreak. It was starting to affect business. Keith's upcoming tour sponsors were reportedly reevaluating promotional commitments, while Nicole's brand deals began asking reputation-related questions. But the photo didn't calm anyone. In fact, it did the opposite. Fans began analyzing every pixel, every pose. Some claimed Nicole looked emotionally distant. Others said Keith's smile didn't reach his eyes. Body language experts were invited onto talk shows to dissect the image like a crime scene. One viral TikTok even pointed out that Nicole's dress was the same one she wore in an older photo shoot, suggesting the picture might not even be recent. And just when things seemed to settle, Maggie Baugh appeared again. This time, not with words, not with screenshots, but with music. She dropped a new acoustic track titled Honesty Hurts. The lyrics? He sang me songs he wrote for her. I thought I was his secret world, but I was just a melody in someone else's story. The internet exploded. Fans connected every lyric back to Keith, the comment section filled with fire emojis, crying faces, and endless theories. She's talking about Keith, 100%, wrote one user. Another said, Maggie, you're too brave for this industry. Keith's team immediately issued a statement denying any connection between the song and his personal life. But the denial didn't stop the buzz, it just made it trend higher. Every media outlet picked it up. Billboard, TMZ, Daily Mail, even The Guardian, all ran with versions of the same headline, Maggie Baugh strikes back. Meanwhile, Nicole's next move shocked everyone. Instead of feeding the gossip, she leaned into silence again. No posts, no interviews, no statements. But insiders whispered she was in quiet talks with her legal team about protecting her image from narrative damage. Others claimed she was in reconciliation therapy with Keith under the guidance of a celebrity relationship counselor. One anonymous producer from a recent film set even leaked that Nicole showed up composed but cold, adding, she wasn't the same Nicole. She was distant, like she'd made peace with something, but it wasn't happiness. As weeks passed, the story morphed from scandal to myth. Some fans believed Keith and Nicole had quietly separated but were pretending to stay together for optics. Others insisted they were truly reconciling. But the truth, as always in Hollywood, was probably somewhere in between. Then came the kicker, an insider email leaked to a gossip journalist claiming that the scandal was deliberately fueled to boost interest around Keith's upcoming album and Maggie's new single. The supposed PR timeline matched perfectly. The scandal peaked just as both had major releases coming up. The journalist published the story under the headline, Was the affair a marketing mirage? Suddenly, public opinion shifted. What if none of it was real? What if the screenshots, the captions, the tears, all of it, had been orchestrated to make us watch? For days, Twitter debated the morality of emotional marketing. Some said it was genius. Others called it disgusting. But either way, it worked. Streams for both artists' music skyrocketed, and Nicole's public sympathy numbers hit an all-time high. Keith, meanwhile, gave his first and only in-depth interview since the chaos. Sitting across from a primetime talk show host, he said softly, people believe what they want to believe. All I know is, love isn't perfect, and neither are we. That quote alone reignited every headline. The vagueness, the poetry, the mystery, it was tailor-made for viral consumption. And then, just when everyone thought the curtain had fallen, a grainy paparazzi video surfaced. Nicole and Keith were seen arguing outside a restaurant in Los Angeles. No audio, just gestures, Nicole shaking her head, Keith trying to calm her down. The clip went viral overnight. Fans captioned it round 2, but strangely, instead of breaking them, it made people empathize. The couple looked real, raw, human. Suddenly, the internet shifted from mockery to pity. They're clearly struggling, one fan wrote. Another said, let them heal privately. For the first time, public sympathy swung back in their favor. Within a week, the couple posted again, this time a video. Keith playing guitar, Nicole sitting beside him, eyes closed, swaying to the music. The caption simply said, forgiveness is louder than rumors. That video became one of the most watched posts of the year, shared by fans, celebrities, and media outlets alike. And just like that, the same internet that tore them apart began to rebuild them. But under the surface, nobody truly knew whether the love was real, the pain was genuine, or the entire saga had been one long, beautifully scripted performance. Because in Hollywood, there's no such thing as coincidence. There's only timing, and timing, as Maggie once said, is everything, and that, my friends, is where the spotlight fades, but the questions only get louder. Was this a love story gone wrong, or a PR symphony played to perfection? Did Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman truly reconcile? Or are we just watching a carefully scripted illusion? Whatever the truth may be, one thing's for sure, Hollywood never sleeps, and neither do its secrets. If you think this story was wild, trust me, the next one's already brewing. So hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to LUMI Legacy, where the truth isn't told, it's exposed.